history is just facts, just information about the facts, not me. I mean, I hold this to be really safe. Sacred. The way the farmer looks at the earth and he holds it sacred. The way a Christian takes the Bible and he holds it sacred. The way a lot of people hold their marriage sacred. So I feel about it. So why don't we dive right in by interpreting one of the easiest events in the last 20 years of American history. Now, can someone tell me why in 1975 he pulled our troops out of Vietnam?
The failure of unionization to win popular support caused an ongoing erosion of confidence in the various American but illegal Saigon regime.
Is she right? Sounds like some popular version of what we're doing there. I know a lot of people like to believe that. I wish I could, but I was there. I was here in the classroom, hoping I was right, thinking about it. I was up on my knees in rice paddies with guns and we're pulling up against Charlie, slugging it out with him, while pussies like you were back there partying, putting headbands on, doing drugs, listening to the goddamn Beatle album.
Hey, Professor, take it easy, will you? I mean, these kids, they were in grade school at the time. And me, I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover.
I didn't know you wanted to get involved with the discussion, Mr. Helper. But since you want to help, maybe you can help me, okay? Remember that thing we had about 30 years ago about the Korean conflict? Yeah, where we failed to achieve it. How come we didn't cross the 38th parallel and push those rice eaters back to the Great Wall of China and take the first brick and do them back into the fucking Stone Age River? Oh God, tell me why! Say it! Say it!
All right, I'll say it. Those Truman was putting no pussy whip, so if the cops go in there, I'll pull out those fucking bastards.
Answer. Answer. What do you think? I'm gonna be watching you.
The teacher, he really seems to care about what...
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Totally Television. Today we're going to be doing a retro blast on back to school, being all the kiddies have been going back to school the last couple of weeks. But before we get into that today, I want to thank everyone for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all of that beautiful stuff. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe bar down below. Hit all on that notification bell next to it so you never miss an upload here on Totally Television. Only with you can we go straight to the moon, baby! But without further ado, let's get back into the retro blast for the day, Back to School. Came out June 13th, 1986. Directed by Alan Metter. Written by Rodney Dangerfield, Greg Fields, and Dennis Snee. The stars Rodney Dangerfield as Thurston Melon, Sally Kellerman as Dr. Diana Turner, Burt Young as Lou, Keith Gordon as Jason Mellon, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man himself, Derek Lutz, Paxton Whitehead as Philip Barbie, Terry Farrell as Valerie Desmond, M. Emmett Walsh as Coach Turnbull, Ned Beatty as Dean David Martin, Willem Zabka, aka Johnny from Cobra Kai, Karate Kid, as Chaz. Sam Kinison does have a small role in this, but very memorable. He's Professor Turgeson. Professor Turgeson. The budget was $11 million. This movie made crazy money. Made $91 million. That's crazy money for a movie back in the day, I think. Anyway, especially if you figure that a lot of action films would make that money. Comedies are kind of hard to get high numbers on sometimes. It has to be really something that everyone gets and can relate to. But this movie basically is Rodney Dangerfield's character, Thurston Melon, has built himself a base of wealth. He's very rich, very wealthy. The movie starts off, excuse me, at a house party that him and his current wife are having. He discovers that the wife that he's married to is cheating on him, wants a divorce, and then decides to take his right-hand man Lou out of there and go see his son and stuff like that. Very distraught. At the same time, his son Jason is getting ready to go to college, and he's very unsure of what he wants to do. He's trying to not live in the shadow of his father, who everyone knows. He's trying to become his own man. And his friend, Robert Downey Jr., let's just make sure I get the name right of the character, Derek Lutz. Derek and him are going to the same school. Now, they go through your typical freshman worries, what classes to take, new people that you meet, and then he winds up meeting whatever that was that just fell behind me. He winds up meeting, let's see here, Valerie. They become friends because they're trying to figure out what classes to take too. They come across Chaz, who's going to be the local. Chaz is your standard 1980s rich douchebag, so to speak, and he kind of tries to make fun of Jason in front of the girl and stuff, and in front of everybody. But here comes Thornton. He meets Jason at the school, basically, and he decides to help his son get acclimated and adjusted to college. He's going to go to college too, and so he makes this big thing at the school where he's like, school supplies are on me, you know what I mean? And very Rodney Dangerfield. If you're unfamiliar with Rodney Dangerfield comedy, his main gimmick was, I get no respect, and he gets into these jokes about how his wife, makes basically love to other men, and his family don't respect him, and this and that. And it's I enjoyed the humor of Rodney Dangerfield growing up. The only thing that was a little maybe cringe for him was the Rappin' Rodney song, but even then it was still like, oh my god, this guy, very not caring, very dirty, very blue humor. But he starts making an immediate impact. The 3 dorms that they were going to live in, because there were going to be 3 separate dorms, the son, the friend, and the father. The father hired construction people to come in and make it one big dorm. Everyone's enjoying themselves. It's parties, it's liquor flowing, kids all over the place doing what kids do, having a good time. In the meantime, Rodney Dangerfield meets a professor, Dr. Diane Turner, and he becomes very smitten with her. She's an English professor, so they're doing like love poems and stuff like that, first part of the class, and he immediately becomes infatuated with her and wants to like pursue her. Little does he know that, there's a guy that she's seeing, and let me see here. What is that guy's name? Give me one more minute. I forget the actor's name who, at the moment, who did this. part, but basically Professor Turner is dating someone, and it's another local, I don't know why I keep saying the word local, but another professor that is there at the school, and he does what do you call it, economics class. Alright, so Thornton takes his class thinking that he's gonna breeze it, and the professor starts off with this and that, trying to, establish business rules and what you should do and this and that. He gives the class project for a year of starting a business, and how are you going to produce it, this, that, the other thing, like how you would really do a business, where are you going to produce the stuff, where are you going to distribute it, who are you going to distribute it to, and stuff like that. So there's that they're trying to do. That's right, Paxton Whitehead as Philip Barbet. I did mention that. That's the character that the lady professor is dating. He sees them talking at the class one day, Thornton and the lady professor, and he becomes suspicious of what is going to happen there, because he's, again, a very uptight guy. Thornton is very easygoing, laid back and stuff. Big differences in personalities, and very different approaches to life, and that's going to make Professor Turner, have to come to a conclusion on whether she's going to stay with this professor or Thornton. And I'll tell you what she decides to do near the time. But because of these things, the professor and even the rich douchebag Chaz decide to make the Thornton father and son duo a target, and try to take them down. They do all these type of things, and then finally Thornton has to prove that he retained everything in some sort of way to show that he can pass these classes. Okay, that's his story in the school at this point. And then the son winds up joining the diving team because the father was also a diver back in the day, and he was able to perform this dive that was so hard called the Triple Lindy. And so the son is trying to, gain experience to that, and he's very much still trying to talk to Valerie and stuff and see if they can maybe, be an item together. And everything that you can expect to go wrong when you have people chomping at the heels for your downfall, it will happen. Near the end of the movie, the father and son are very despondent again about if this was the right choices they made, and but they finally decide to pull up their bootstraps and do and be motivated on what they're attempting to do. Thornton does great with passing his classes. The son does well with cutting down, not letting anything else bother him, doing well with the diving. But at the climax of everything, it comes to Thornton having to do the Triple Lindy for the diving team. This old man. So you see, which was one of the more funnier parts of the movie, you see Rodney Dangerfield up on the diving board doing all these things, and he finally does this Triple Lindy dive, which it was not Rodney Dangerfield doing, at that time he was way older to be doing any crazy stuff like that. And they win the swim meet, and Professor Turner winds up realizing that Thornton is the guy for her. This movie goes to show that yes, life is easier when you have money. You have a lot of friends who try to let you know that they're there for you and this and that, but when the money dries out, who's really there for you? Thornton's friend Lou, he's kind of like his right-hand man, does dirty work for, these little dirty jobs that are not illegal exactly, but just to skirt around policies and stuff like that. He's another funny guy in the movie. This movie was really one of my favorites growing up. Great 80s movie, and I really suggest seeing this movie if you've never seen this movie before. For my style of humor and what type of movies I enjoyed this very well, and I'm gonna give this movie 8.5 out of 10. Of course, there's a couple of jokes that didn't land or won't land in today's time, but I will say that if you put this movie on, you'll laugh your butt off. You're LMAO, okay? Scout's honor. But yeah, that's it. That's my back to school retro blast. We're gonna tie it into all the kids going back to school. If you got nothing to do, pop it on, search it up on your smart TV, YouTube, whatever, and you'll be pleasantly surprised at how corny and cheesy this movie is, but how great it is. It adds to it. Wonderful movie. Big Rodney Dangerfield fan myself, and this was his highest money-making movie from what I could tell. He did other movies like Ladybugs and some other stuff, but this was really the money maker for him. Almost $100 million made. I thought that was a big deal, especially back in the day. All those, I wonder how much it would have made now, how much that would equivalent to now. I should have looked that up, but yeah, it was a very popular movie. I think you'll like it. 8.5 out of 10. I just want to thank everyone for stopping by, though, listening to me rant and rave about movies, comic books, and pop culture. I hope I've earned your subscription today. Again, if I have, hit that red subscribe bar down below. And until next time, peace,
Dive is America.
The triple landing. There will be an additional springboard installed for Melon's dive. The triple landing.
Is that hard?
It's impossible.
That was great.
Oh, you were great. That was incredible. Okay, there's nothing you can do. I've got the results of your exams right here.
Do I want to hear him?
You passed all these. What a name.